McKee, 8-2 on the year, 1-1, 14-1 for Ayala. And maybe, I don't think there's much difference between these two guys. A lot of familiarity. The rankings don't mean much at 125, as we already know. So let's expect for you to have a good match. But you asked a question, what do you expect here? Well, McKee is the guy that won the first 4 matches. He's got to go back out there and make an impression. And, you know, he's been the more decorated wrestler, being the 2-time All-American here, finishing as high as 3rd. I think he was seeded like 19th that year that he did it, and won all those matches in the wrestlebacks, and really looks pretty tough. But pretty good guy. But Ayala is the guy that really, I think, has some momentum here going into this one.
Drake Ayala from Fort Dodge, Iowa. 3-time Iowa high school state champion for the Dodgers. Here comes Drake Ayala. Yeah, you mentioned McKee, Jim. That was in 2021. He was a 15 seed, lost in the 2nd round, won 6 straight.
Yeah, you do that, you know you're a tough guy, all right? You proved yourself coming all the way back to 3rd. And, you know, this is a match where McKee, you know, we've seen this before in his wrestling. You know, this time of year, as he brings his weight down, and, you know, the coaches will always tell you, his weight's under control and all that, but he just seems to not have the fresh start, more of a guy that's ready to go at the end of the season. But you can't stand around with Ayala. He's just got a good, you know, a single leg shot. He'll shoot to that knee that has a little bandage on it there, that little heavily padded area right there where McKee's got a nice, beautiful single, and he's got a nice crackdown shot to the other side. So nice slide by. Whoa, almost got it right there. Good reactions by McKee.
These guys met less than a month ago at the Soldier Salutes.
And you always have to have those techniques there, Shane, where if the guy's pushing into you heavily, that you have that slide by, that foot sweep, that's something that really stops the guy's momentum from coming back at you and putting that much forward pressure. Notice the forward pressure from McKee is slowed down as a result of that.
No score, 150 remaining first period. Ayala defeating Jory Volk of Wyoming to win the Soldier Salute. McKee coming back to take 3rd. These two know each other well.
And if you know, you're taking a look at styles of wrestling, McKee really tough in the top position, can really put it on you. So if you give up points to him early, and he's solid with this headlock, good job by Ayala staying square with him.
And McKee, Jim, last April, a knee surgery, kept him off the mat all summer, so he's still kind of finding himself yet.
Yeah, that's why for Ayala, you want to get to that leg, and sometimes maybe the opposite side of the leg that he might be favoring here. So look for maybe a shot to that right leg of McKee. Oh, nice little post shot right there. An underhook little slide by there to a leg. There by Ayala. Good counters by both guys.
Guys wrestling center of the mat inside of 60 seconds here in this first period. Heavy with the hand fights.
And just by the stance of McKee here with it, he naturally keeps that leg back here with that Ayala's looking for that swing single to the padded leg. He's naturally keeping it back right there. It seems like it's distant for him and not being able to get the inside tie to that shot.
In that win Friday in Lincoln against Nebraska, Iowa so good in short time. Here's a single leg attack from McKee. Good opportunity, and the gopher on the board. 3 takedown for McKee.
That's huge, Shane, because you know he's got 23 seconds left, and he's good in the top position. A good tight waist ride. Can Ayala get an answering shot? Gets a little high.
Neutral center.
Critical escape there from Ayala to get an escape. Put a tally on the board for the Hawkeye. 3-1. Final 10 seconds in this first period. Choice goes to Iowa. Here's that takedown for McKee, Jim.
Take a look at, you know, beautiful job of, you know, you say, well, how's that knee doing right now? Watch him step up with that inside leg right there and go right into a Bazagar, okay? Bazagar finish right there where he goes to the second leg. Again, the knee looks fine in that situation, and a beautiful finish. That Bazagar finish was named after an Iranian world champion back in the 70s.
And this is where McKee is so good. Good breakdown. Solid defense for McKee to stop the Hawkeyes' first move.
See, sometimes moves, Shane, they're named after people, okay? Not kitchen utensils. Right?
Riding time over 30 seconds. Really strong in this top position. One of the best riders in the country at this weight class. The two-time All-American from St. Michael, Minnesota. Was a three-time state champion at St. Michael, Albertville.
And look all the work he's doing with his legs. When he gets a tie that he wants, he's looking for that half Nelson right there, but he's got a cross wrist ride right there. When you have that cross wrist, you definitely want to keep that on as long as possible. He switches it off to a half Nelson. Look at him going hard with those legs, driving him all the way back down to the mat. This is huge for McKee, getting that riding time worked up here. Already, the advantage with the three-point takedown.
And if you're Ayala, Jim, here, what's the answer on bottom?
Well, you got to find a way to get your hips out. I don't like, some people have fallen in love with this quad pod stand-up. The one thing it doesn't do for you, it doesn't create the hip separation you really need to get away from a good wrestler. And McKee is an expert in the top position. It's weird just seeing that 18th ranking. All right, with
125, you said it before, that number next to a name at 125 means pretty much nothing. It's a wild weight class. I haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah, once again, little cross wrist ride there. McKee doing a good job of following with the hips now.
An escape by Ayala makes it a one-point match, but it's got that riding time over 90 seconds. We're 3-2, 30 seconds here in the second period.
Expect Ayala's best shot right at this point in time. But you're trying to come back from a 134 of riding here that you've just gone through, and he doesn't look quite as fresh. He really had to work hard for that escape. Now you see McKee sensing a little bit of weakness. He drops in on that shot.
He's got that leg hooked, at least he did momentarily, and there's a leg takedown inside of 15 seconds, and Ayala's got his first lead.
Well, I tell you what, I hate to say I told you so, but you're going to see his best shot. That's that swing single to that leg right there. And you see his best shot. It's the position for him to do it, right? Got it coming forward a little bit. Beautiful job of switching off to the double. Scoops that leg up right now. Really had McKee at that point in time and really got himself great position in this match.
Hawkeye fans love to see that. Short time scoring. And now this is critical. Now McKee goes on bottom. That riding time was over 90 seconds.
Yeah,
both guys work.
Coffee grinder position here from Ayala. Not much on bottom. There's some hip separation from McKee. He's got the escape.
And that's the difference right there, okay? He's able to preserve the riding time. But again, that's how important that, switched its side, went to the opposite side. We talked about where Ayala's improved over 2 years ago. He's now attacking both sides of the body. So we've seen a shot to that padded leg and now coming back the other side. And that's huge. That extends the score to 8-4.
It's crazy, Jim, how this match turned on a dime.
Well, you just knew that Ayala was going to answer with his best shot at the end of the second period.
Not after an escape. Here we go.
8-5 match, 114, 3 takedowns, 2 by the Hawkeye Ayala. McKee struck first, but Ayala has rallied back to take the lead, trying to make it 2 straight victories over McKee.
And with this lead, Shane, 3 points, and with a 3-point takedown, you've got the ability to go ahead. You've already cut riding time, so that's not going to be a factor. So, the best place for Ayala to be is in on a leg right now trying to finish.
And if you're McKee, Jim, depending on when you score, if you do, you can maybe take that riding time over a minute, win this thing 9-8.
Great point, all right? Great strategy right there, but you got to do it now.
Yeah, can't be waiting until you got 20 seconds left with your sprint. You got to go now.
Yeah, and if you do get a takedown now, you're going to go ahead and go for the ride, but you're going to have to ride for at least 7 seconds. But see the heavy weight of the hands, all right?
And Ayala there drifting towards the edge. He has not been hit with stalling. Down to 20 seconds. Ayala, quick glance up at the clock. Here's a shot for McKee.
Good footwork by Ayala. Dries him off. There's a stalling call. You hear the crowd reacting to that, but I think that's a good call right there. It's clear that he was playing the edge well before that.
See what McKee has. 10 seconds, third period.
And when you back straight out like this, I really think that you could get called again, but it's not going to make a difference.
He gave up the first takedown, but he found a way to get the W. Drake Ayala 8-5 over Patrick McKee. showed a lot of poise in that match,
He
Jim.
really did. That takedown at the end of the second period, then coming back in the third period with the going to the other side of the body. And look at him, he's not even...
141 pounds, number 1 ranked in the country. And Real Woods remains undefeated after that win against Brock Hardy on Friday night. And ranked 19th, it's redshirt sophomore Vance Vombaur out of Greeley, Colorado. 3-time finalist, 2-time Colorado State champion. And Jim, you knew Mr. Marburger.
Yeah, I did, Shane. And I spent 14 years. Our family did live in the Perry community, and you know, Dan was a good family man and loved a lot of people, and that extended to the people in his Perry school district. And he was a huge Hawkeye fan. I don't know if people know that, but you know, when we moved from Perry, I'd frequently hear his voice on the WHO with the call-in shows with Gary Dolphin and all that stuff. Dan from Perry, but. You know, he was a frequent attender of the NCAA wrestling tournament. He knew how important wrestling was to his community. He made some great hires. He hired Steve Hamilton, the 4-time All-American at Iowa State, and more recently Chris Dardanes, who's the multi-time All-American for Minnesota. So, you know, a great wrestling fan, and it's appropriate that he receives a moment of silence here. He passed away this past Sunday morning, and we're sending our condolences to his wife Elizabeth, the family, and the Perry community.
Real Woods, 60 seconds in, 3 takedown for the Hawkeye. We've seen this a time or two, Jim.
Yeah, he'll get right on his offense, and you know, just dominating. Grabs that wrist, and all of a sudden he's got a good head lever in there going. And you know what? I'm sure that they worked on this. Vombaur did here. If Real Woods going to take you down, you got to work on freeing your right wrist. And you see that you know, this Minnesota coaching staff, you know, they're really working hand fighting down there in the bottom position and getting it back up to Whizzer. You know, this is the way you used to get away from that. When a guy would drop his head, like Woods is doing in your rib cage, you would try to go ahead and come back into a Whizzer position, and it worked pretty well here for Vombaur. That's a little old school technique. Right, look at him hand fight back in there. You know, this is a good work by Woods in the top position, but good work hand fighting, actually peeling that arm off like that. That's a good battle inside the battle right now going on by, you know, Vombaur, just trying to go ahead and free himself up a little bit. They've worked on this, you can tell.
Red's down, easy.
Riding time over a minute.
Shot, Red.
Real Woods, the reigning Big Ten champion, the 3-time All-American.
And everybody over the age of 55 just said, yeah, you're right, Coach. That's the way we used to do it. You know? Right
Real
there.
Woods falling in the national final to Andrew Alirez of Northern Colorado last March in Tulsa, 6'4".
Both guys work.
But so dominant in the top position. You can tell he spent some time with Spencer Lee since coming to Iowa City.
Yeah, you know, I think they both had a great relationship with each other and, you know, kind of fed off each other's positive momentum. But, you know, Real Woods, you know, he's doing a great job of working himself into the culture of the program right there. Just a, you know, a leader. Nice job of hand fighting there. That's the persistent hand fighting right there that you need. And, you know, Woods didn't want to give that up. There's 12 seconds left in the period here. That's not something that he wanted to give up in this position. So good job by Vombaur, and now he's back in on a single leg, trying to run back through there. So,
Great choice.
3-1 period for Real Woods. There's Spencer Lee, 4-time All-American, 3-time national champion for Iowa. A couple of Dan Hodge Trophy winners, one of the most dominating wrestlers in college wrestling history. He was something.
yeah, the most dominating wrestler you saw, you know, great in the top position, and, you know, really got big meets going here for the Hawkeyes in his time here. Nice job by Woods getting that quick escape.
Woods was 6th at the national tournament in 2022. Of course, spent 4 seasons at Stanford before coming to Iowa City.
And this is a,
Center.
you can tell that the Gopher's been coached up here, right? He's not falling for the bait of going above the elbow right now. He's basically coming back below the elbow, peeling those hands off, just a little hand fighting right there, coming from the wrist first. And that's how you can frustrate a great wrestler, is just by tying up his wrists, particularly the lead arm on his shot. Look for more touch and go, operating from space. Those shots are there for Woods. You just got to pull the trigger.
Vombaur goes back to a 2-on-1. Woods clears that tie. 60 seconds left, second period. Vombaur's presented himself really well.
No, he's moved forward here, but again, Shane, the way he's working this thing, he's going from the elbow down, okay? So looking for that, he's on the collar right now, he'll go do that, but from the elbow down, that's where the battle's going on right now.
Put them together. Come on.
And he's actually pushing into Woods, and you rarely see that, okay? You rarely see Woods be in a position, sometimes late in the match, but at this stage of the match, he's usually the one taking the forward motion, and so, again, great job by this Gopher coaching staff of getting this young man ready to compete.
Vombaur was second at the Bison Open, third at the Soldiers Salute. He fell to Lachlan McNeil of North Carolina in the semis, and that's who Woods defeated to win that title at the Soldiers Salute. Short time in the second.
And when you see Woods sometimes get frustrated, he'll pound both hands on the mat just to kind of get a reaction. Come down and drop the bottom out of his stance.
Woods up by 3 to the third period. Brandon Egham, been with this program as an athlete and assistant coach and as a head coach for 2.5 decades. 3-time All-American and legendary head coach Jay Robinson. Won a couple of Big Ten titles, world silver medalist. Just a great representation. Congratulations, recently a contract extension, well deserved.
Yeah, I think everybody's happy for Brandon. He's going to be around Minnesota for a little, quite a while longer. All right, good job again there by Vombaur, getting out from underneath. Again, the escape after the giving up the takedown.
Got fingers.
Watch for Woods here. He wants to operate a little bit of space. I wouldn't be surprised if he backs out, drops both hands on the mat. So when he does that, you know that he's trying to get a reaction.
Sweep single here from Woods on a single.
Yep, his corner's being cut pretty well there by Vombaur here, and locked in the crotch, but he's got the leg lock. Woods does right there. Now
not going to make that turn, but Vombaur doing a good job trying to continue this scramble.
Yeah,
rolls him through.
Yeah, tries to go ahead and keep that elbow deep around that ankle right there. That's going to be a saving grace if you got to try to get it even a little bit tighter than he is right now. Working for a stalemate, but
stay legal.
Woods senses that, wants to get another roll through, and see how he tries to get that right ankle out. Now an advantage position almost for Vombaur. If he can make the quick turn, keep his ankles free.
We're down to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Woods has riding time locked up, so essentially he's up by 3. So Vombaur would need a takedown and a rider to send him to sudden victory. They just keep scrambling here with 30 to go in the third.
It's good action. There's no reason to stop it.
What does he do here to finish this, Jim?
He's got to make a hard turn to his left right here. Right now, make a hard turn to the left and not try to worry about getting Woods back. But that was a soft turn.
Danger! Stay legal! Stay legal!
Now down to 10 seconds. Real Woods picking up his 30th win as a Hawkeye. This last Friday in Lincoln, he'll get win number 31 in the black singlet tonight.
Well,
good battle.
It really was a good battle, Shane, and I think that Gopher staff and Vombaur, with his natural ability there, was able to do everything he could to stay in that match and possibly win the match at the end. Good work there against obviously one of the best wrestlers in the country.
Real Woods a takedown in the first period. That was the good one. Jared Franick ranked second. Michael Blockhus decided to come back and wrestle this last year for the Gophers. Comes in with a 7-1 record, ranking 11th in the country. Jared Franick, one of those transfers from North Dakota State, solidifying these middleweights. Franick at 157, Michael Caliendo at 165. And I was really impressed with the grit and toughness he showed to beat a really tough Peyton Robb.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he did a great job on last Friday with that. You know, he's almost 95% taken down, and he did that little neck wrench and ended up getting in a better position, actually getting to a neutral position off of it, but showed me some athletic ability. I mean, if you're going to win a national title, you know, it helps to have that athletic ability, and I think Franick, you know, is kind of disguises it a little bit, but when he needs to, he really can explode. And Blockhus, he's a tough guy. Boy, he's just a guy that goes out there, a lot of grit. Cresco, Iowa native, and so he knows how to, comes from one of our rich wrestling tradition towns in Cresco, so it's like I expect a tough match between these two competitors.
Couple of All-Americans. Blockhus last year, Big Ten finalist at 149. Fell to Sammy Sass of Ohio State.
Offense, guys, throw a lot of it.
Then went to the national tournaments and made the podium, finishing 8th.
Not going to be a lot of openings for each guy in this match. They'll wrestle a lot of this right here in that center circle.
Blockhus began his career with Doug Schwab up at Northern Iowa out of high school. Couple seasons at Northern Iowa, 2020. Honorable mention All-American at 141. Here's Franek with that double leg.
Yeah, good job of rolling through with that chest wrap, but that's what I'm talking about, athletic ability. Do you see that quickness on that straight-on double? There was nothing magical about that shot other than that it was quick.
2.
Same shot we saw on Friday nights in that win against Peyton Robb. So 3-0 Franek.
But also really kind of a beautiful finish, the way he kept his chest sealed to those thighs, right? And then rolled with it, and then got himself some position to be able to lock the leg and score.
Blockhus is placed at the Big Tens 3 times, 4th, 5th, and then as I mentioned, runner-up a year ago.
Circle. Hands drop and circle.
Jared Franek won the Big 12 title last March before that 4th place finish in Tulsa as an All-American. Was beaten in the blood round in the 2 previous NCAA tournaments, so it was great for him to get on that podium. Here's Blockhus, a shot inside of 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's coming out the back door right there, but can he go ahead and get any advantage right there? He's allowed his ankles to get tied up. When a guy drapes over the top like that, you want to keep those ankles in motion. And this makes it a little bit, the finish a lot tougher, but now he's going to go ahead and see. He wants to lock that bottom leg here with his left foot, but he can't do it because he's given up both ankles in that waterfall position. Again, when they drape over the top of you like that, your ankles have got to be moving. If they're stationary, hard to finish.
Blockhus was not going to come back as we get another look at that takedown.
Let's take a look at this. So look at his position here. He's really, boom, see how he's dropping and driving. Look at, he's on his toes, shoelaces up. Now watch him finish this technique. Comes back in and seals his chest to those thighs right there. You notice how when he stays all the way through the roll, he seals his chest to those thighs, even through that roll through position, and he wins.
Franek beginning 2nd period on bottom.
At any point during that roll through action, if he lost that chest, to thigh action right there, he was going to lose the technique.
Blockhus stays right with him.
Nice job. Good job with stopping him there with the mat return. See how those hips are floating up into a good position right there. Great job by Franek.
No change.
Naturally moving himself into a sit-out position with good back pressure. Beautiful escape right there.
Franek 4-1.
Stalemate.
Stalemate whistled with 1:18 here in the seconds as we wrestle neutral.
Good job, side to side.
Michael Blockhus getting it done in the classroom as well. One of 6 Gopher wrestlers with a perfect 4.0 GPA.
Got fingers.
That's
He's had
impressive.
a solid career. He's had a really, really good career.
That's his grade point average?
4.0.
Wow. All the things he's doing?
Impressive.
Man.
And next up for him, MMA career.
Good job, Blockhus. Stay focused. Ruffle out of that.
I believe right after the national tournament, was an All-American, said he was going to come back, then got involved in the MMA, decided not to come back, and then said, hey, I'm going to come back after all. I know they are ecstatic to have him back in that Minnesota Maroon singlet. Inside of 30 seconds, Franek got that takedown in the first. He's up 4-1.
Good job. Stay on top of the head there. Good.
Some other MMA guys, Mitch McKee, Logan Storley, the Storm.
Side to side, short time.
The guys that signed the dotted lines to fight those guys have no clue what they're getting into. No idea.
Bo Nickel. So that's just going to be...
Made his pro debut this last August for Bellator. Round 1 finish for Michael Blockhus on that same card as the aforementioned Logan Storley. And Jordan Oliver, the former Oklahoma State great, fought on that card as well.
Yeah, wow. You're tough enough to get inside that 8-sided fence. That's It's a new level of toughness.
I can't imagine making that walk and walking into the octagon and then having them slam the door. That's a different kind of place. Blockhus, quick escape. 4-2 match.
We're behind him.
Franek this season a champion at the Luther Open and Soldier Salute. Beat Cale Swenson of South Dakota State 4-1 in sudden victory to claim that title.
Good job. Stay heavy on that head.
Franek from
Stay focused. Don't pull
Harwood,
up.
North Dakota.
Stay into
Went to
him.
West Fargo High School before wrestling at North Dakota State for Roger
Stay down.
Kish.
Stay down.
And see that work there that Franek's doing? Okay, he's holding the 4-2 lead right now. Even in the tie, he's willing to go ahead and, you know, keep his feet moving right there. Referee Kurt Frost is really kind of letting him know at this point is you can't just go back.
There's that shot again, switches to a single.
Yeah. Again, using the shot to set up the single leg, double to set up the single. Just shoot, and I'll take what I get. Shelving it on that left thigh right there. See how he's shelving that ankle up there. A lot of times guys will come up here in this position, and good job by Blockhus splitting the grip, right, with that wrist tied up and putting the appropriate amount of weight on it and balance as well.
Gets the stalemate.
Focus. It's unbelievable.
Again, you know, Franek is experienced. He knew that the referee was really on him in that situation and answered with that shot.
He took the last shot.
Did you hear that? Right on cue, Kurt Frost.
And here's Blockhus. Jimmy's got a 1-point lead with 15 seconds left.
And you stay on that ankle. Right now, Blockhus has not been warned right there, but he's got the arm around the waist, so you really can't spend a lot of time there worrying about that. Now he gets the head lever. Look at that bench.
Michael Blockhus, a late takedown. He comes into Carver Hawkeye and has Jared Franek his first defeat of the season. 5-4. Blockhus with the W.
That's beautiful. Beautiful shot.
And we've reached 285 pounds.
Ben Kueter from Iowa City, Iowa. Won those 4 state titles at Iowa City High School. And Bennet Tabor, ranked 29th in the country for Minnesota. 2-time state champion from Simley, Minnesota, wrestling for former Gopher Will Shorts. If you came out to Carver Hawkeye tonight, you can say, I saw Ben Kueter that first time. Nothing like your first time.
That really isn't. So, you know, here you have Kueter out here. Of course, he's Iowa City High, 4-time Iowa State champion. Everything going his way. Of course, what he's been able to do on the world scene as well has been equally impressive. So, you know, a guy that, you know, a lot of freestyle experience. You know he's not going to get pushed around out there, because the one thing you do worry about here as he steps in, particularly his incoming freshman year, is do you have the power, right, to go up against these top guys? Right there. See Tabor coming back up, and nice job with his technique there, answering with a little shot right there. Good job of staying out of that body lock of Tabor and answering with a little inside shot.
You mentioned that freestyle prowess. U20 world champion. He won that in August of 2022 in Bulgaria. Fargo finalist the year previous. No score with Kueter and Tabor. Final match of the night.
You hear the Minnesota corner asking Tabor to go forward. They want forward pressure on him. And I think that, you know, the experience that Kueter has, of course, he hasn't been in the program as far as, you know, training goes, but he's, you know, for as long as you'd probably like to have it, but there he is. There's getting on a shot. This is old stuff right here. He should be able to score right here. But again, he's left his ankles behind. We've seen that before.
Trying to clear the ankles.
Makes a good turn. Yep.
And there's his first takedown of his Iowa career.
Now coming back into a roll through tilt. How about that crowd reaction, Shane?
Fan favorite already. 40 seconds left in this first period. And and Tabor escapes 3-1.
No trouble. Go get to it.
Kueter in high school, football, wrestling, baseball, and track. He's a 300 hitter on the diamond, Jim.
Tabor, stay on him. Back to your hook.
That frame and that strength, I mean, now you're going to tell me he's a left-hander, right? that would be the sport to stick with.
I like what Tom Brand said in his press conference in reference to Kueter. He said, I like what's under the hood.
Yeah, well, and his father was a basketball player. That was his best sport, so he did everything that Dad didn't do.
Here's that first takedown of his career, Jim. What do you like here?
I love that the fact that he cleaned up his ankles right here and makes the big turn in, right? Keeps his head up in the roll-through situation and goes right into a tilt.
And there is his father, Scott. You've seen a couple of those before.
This is different than making
his heart's beating tonight.
This is different than making a clutch free throw.
So Tabor starting period on bottom. Kueter goes with a half Nelson off the whistle. A couple knee slides from Tabor.
Oh,
he's got my heart, Jim. Good return from Kueter. Riding time approaching 60 seconds.
Pressure forward.
nice job right there with the break right there. And using his length really well. That's a good tight waist ride. And now Shane is going to try to break him down right there. Nice job of following back up. And even though the arm is behind the back right there, you notice how he continued to move? And he went relaxed with his arm behind the back. So good job by Tabor here getting that quick escape. Puts himself back in this match.
Tabor was thinking underhook throw by with that last attack.
And the thing that you're looking for from Kueter is that okay, this is your first time really out here. This is a different environment. You might feel it for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, feel fine out there, but all of a sudden, do you have what it takes to continue to keep on scoring? Because nerves, everything, football conditioning is totally different than what you've got going on here. Saw that last week.
Kueter's got the riding time just over a minute. Half a minute left here in the second period.
Right now, you've got Kueter slowing down a little bit. I don't know if Tabor has the skills to be able to go ahead and take advantage of it. Right now,
there's that underhook once again. Nearly got that single leg counterattack from the Hawkeye.
Yeah, you can tell there's just been a passing of the guard, so to speak, of what the conditioning level is right now. It's a different Kueter than it was earlier in the match.
And I'm looking at their lower body.
I'm looking at the skin tone. Kueter looks a little bit flushed.
Good neck insert here from Kueter.
Love it. A bunch of those. Lugging around the 240-pound man, you take a little steam out of yourself right there. So this is an important part of the match. Of course, Tabor's at least got to ride him for a couple seconds here. Good explosion coming up. Good determination. Get to his feet.
And now Tabor returns the favor. Claw ride from the Gopher, sinks it in a little bit deeper. Tabor having a really good year, 14-2. He won the Soldier Salute. Looking for another win here in Iowa City.
Knocked him off to the side right there. Is he going to be able to put that leg in? Now the leg is in. Really kind of Kueter put it there. I don't know if Tabor understands. He's giving him a count on that ankle. Right. Again, what's Kueter's experience right now? If you're trying to get out of the legs, he's making a big turn right there.
And he's going to get the reversal. Yeah. Tabor got his hips out of position. They fell to the side. And Kueter capitalizes. And he's 60 seconds away from his first W for Iowa.
Well, he used to doing a lot of winning, and right now he can smell it. He's going to stay in that top position. I like his length there, looking for wrist. Tabor collects another escape.
Keeps himself in the match with that escape. It's 5-3. Riding time and on factors. Tabor went back to that underhook. Another shot there by the Gopher on a single leg. Good, powerful hips there from Kueter to flatten him out.
Little high leg over here, and he scores. Here's where that crowd helps him out.
Still neutral.
Still neutral, but does Tabor have one more in him? Can he flop that off to the side? Now scoop the leg. He's got the bottom leg scoop, clear his head, and he scores.
15 seconds.
Gotta push that away.
Tabor in really good position here to win this match. Final seconds.
Can he pop his head out? He doesn't. He's pushing that. He's holding on to that leg, and that just made it even worse.
And Ben Kueter hangs on 5-3. As Dan Scott takes a deep breath, you see his teammates, the crowd on their feet. Welcome to the Big Ten, Ben Kueter. His first win for the University of Iowa.
Well, you can see him shaking his head there. It's just different water being in a college